program is if we don't see the kind of demand or the impact of people staying after the 12 months, you know what we'll do? We'll go back to the drawing board and either decide, do we need to change the program, put more money into it, or change it. So the reason I paused on staffing, and actually there's about 3 or 4 more things that I didn't make the cut of what I thought was my 5-minute speech, was there's we're trying to put $1 or $2 million investments around the theme of recruitment, retention, and getting people to join who live here, or if they don't, to live here. Some of those will work, and probably in next year's budget we'll increase the size of this budget. Some of them won't, and we'll decide in this is the kind of issue where we're better off pursuing 6 different policies than for us to presume that we have the answer and we're going to go along with one thing. So if you're right and it doesn't work, you know, 6 months in we'll know that and we'll start to make adjustments to it. And I encourage, I don't hide from that, and I encourage the police chief to let's look at what's working, look at what's not, and adjust throughout the year based on what we see on the ground. Yeah.
One very quick question, going back to the ambulatory services. How much of the city budget is allocated to the private ambulatory services?
$12 million. So to give you a context of, that's $12 million. The fire EMS's budget is about $220 million. So it's about, my math, about 5% of the total budget. We went with a private contract because we knew we needed ambulances immediately, and it was a very practical. We were able to add 20 ambulances to 30 every day in about 3 months. What would have taken us 2 or 3 years to do if we had to budget, buy, hire, and train. Now, ultimately, we might start to insource some of those, but we know we can't step back from. We went from 39 every day on the street to about 55 now, and even the 55, they don't run out anymore like they used to, or as often as they used to. But we know we may change the decision about outsourcing and insourcing, but we know we will not change needing to have that quantity out there. Unless the nurse triage program really works well and we start to see a reduction. Thank you for much more than 5 minutes. If you have a question and you're like, it's not about public safety, so you assume me I may not know the answer, I'm happy to, I'll hang out in the back for a little bit. I'm happy to hear your question. If I don't know an answer, I will get you an answer if it's about the budget, even if it's not in my area. I'll hang out back there. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for an excellent presentation.
Now, I think well, we still have community concerns. Are there any that weren't already addressed?
You skipped over.
That's next. Community concerns. All right, now single member district reports. 5D01. Oh, that's Commissioner Pettigay. She's not here. 5D02.
So I just want to give an update. Like we had for Trinidad Community Day, we have volunteers that have expressed interest in helping us out. And so we had a social where people came out this past week to actually sign up and also share in what ways they would like to help. So we'll be doing more of that. So if you're still interested in helping out, let me know. And my next single member district meeting is May the 20th, Saturday, May the 20th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Trinidad Rec Center.
5D03.
Okay, just thank you all for being here this evening. Just a very brief update. I'll compress this. I was going to thank a number of the public safety folks and MOGers that went out. They've been doing an excellent job. Our first issue has been with regards to community safety and police style beating, beat policing and community policing, excuse me. And we're still on that issue. It's sometimes this progress in these things takes some time, so we're still really working on that. I am looking forward to having a summit, so to speak, with the mayor, maybe even the deputy mayor, Donahue, that just spoke, and the commander and Chief Lucian regarding how we can increase beat style policing. also have made some significant contacts with a gentleman from New York named Mr. Santiago. He's the one that coined the phrase stop and shake, where police officers stop and shake your hand and introduce themselves. So we're working on that. Issues that have plagued our PSA, additional public safety issues regarding abandoned vehicles, that's still an issue. We're working on that. The Mokers have been very good with helping me with that. In fact, this past weekend, we were able to drive around and literally in the rain point out cars, get the tag numbers, point out those ones that had expired plates, and they've been reported to the city. So I know some of you had that as major concerns of yours. We're on it, and it's going to be taken care of. So thank you all again for coming out tonight.
Commissioner Henderson.
I'm very, very pleased to report that I had a very effective meeting with Mayor Bowser yesterday about issues in our community, and she was very responsive, and I look forward to her team being even more responsive to our community. I'm just super excited about the Summer Crime Initiative. I had a single member district meeting last week, and we're really moving forward, and I'm super excited about the camera initiative. I can't tell you how effective that program is, and the mayor has assured me that the budgeting for that program, that really wonderful program, is intact. It will be maintained, and I'm happy to report that most of the 800 block of 18th Street is coming online with cameras. A lot of my constituents are getting the cameras. It's just a wonderful program, and I urge you, if you don't live in my community, get a camera, share the footage with MPD. It's a fabulous public safety tool. I'm also pleased to report that I've had working groups in the past. I've had task force, and I've been a commissioner for a while. My last task force was with ABRA, the Alcohol Beverage Regulation Administration, and they did, some of our recommendations were adopted in the Omnibus Alcohol Bill. And I've started another working group with DCRA because we really need to have a balanced city response to property owners to make sure that the quality of life for all is good. We have interesting laws that allow sometimes problem tenants to continue to be problem tenants with seeming immunity. And we need to change that to make sure that there's a balanced response, and that when citizens bring an issue to the attention of their representatives, to law enforcement, to their ANC commissioner, to the council member, to the mayor, whomever, that there is a framework that the city can use to actually address that. We do have affordable housing in the city, and we want to maintain that. I can tell you about a person who's actually paying $445 a month and has been paying that amount for the last 25 years. So we want to look at, again, making the process much more responsive for property owners, communities, so that we can have a good program. So initially, we will have property owners on this working group, police and agency representatives. I look forward to getting back to you with the results and our recommendations.
Commissioner Bugs.
No report.
Okay, now then, I'm just going to attend the ABC training session, because that's one of my weak points. So I'm going to the ABC training, they're offering the ABC training session, so I'll be doing that this month. Now, do y'all have any questions for the commissioners or myself? You're single,
I
yes.
have a question about the camera program. On the website, what is the website to get information on?
I have that here. Matter of fact, I can share that with you at the end of the meeting if you don't mind. And if you need a contract or a recommendation, we can make that happen as well.
And Ms. Miles, if you need to leave early, I'll make sure I get it and send it to you. Okay?
Any other
It's
questions?
okay, Ms. Miles is a long neighbor. I know you're a commissioner, but
Ms. Wilson.
I'm great.
I'm still interested in finding out whose responsibility is it for the mall, the elevator? Who's gonna be handling that?
You want me to address that again?
Yeah, please.
Okay, the Hechinger Mall is located within 5D05. I had a lot of concerns. I have ongoing concerns with the management of Hechinger Mall. Most recently, the grass was about a foot high and there was trash everywhere with seeming, they thought it was okay. I had to make it clear, it's not okay. We wanna make sure, I've met with mall management before, they're managed by the JBG group, and it's a group out of New York. We come down for these meetings, they make all of these promises, they've not delivered on all the promises. And the elevator was one of that. The elevator has not worked in 15 years. They have promised to replace the elevator, and they have indicated that it's a budget issue. When the elevator was working for a short interim time, there was public urination, a number of problems, and frankly, they just don't want to put the resources in the elevator, to maintain it the way it should. It's an ongoing problem. I look forward to meeting with them again. I've had an ongoing dialogue with the mall manager. And hopefully, one of these days, we can come to the meeting and tell you that not only is the elevator working, it's brand new, it's clean, so that you can enjoy the mall as everyone else does.
Okay, so if it's a problem with public urination or whatever in the elevator, don't they have like security that will be able to at least, keep an eye on the elevator every now and again?
They do have security. Security, I can tell you, they're very active. They make a lot of arrests. They assist the Safeway, the other shop owners in maintaining order. And frankly, they need more security. So I've requested more security. So I look forward to sharing with you that we are at the end of that period of, I would say, a lack of responsiveness to all the community's concerns.
So so where are we with the elevator though? Is it like coming up soon, or is it like?
According to what they've shared with me, certainly they said we're budgeting it, we look forward to bringing it online, but they said that 6 months ago.
Right.
So I've requested a new meeting with them so that they can give me a realistic timeline for bringing the elevator online. A number of persons have indicated, especially our seniors. Our seniors have a hard time. We use the mall. It's a resource in our community. There's stores there that we shop at, but people need the elevator to work. And certainly I see that you would benefit from having the elevator working. So we look forward to working with the mall management to allow them to be more responsive to our needs.
Any other questions?
Hi.
Hi.
This is our first ANC meeting in the Smithfield area, and so I think I'm in 501, and our person's not here. How do we find out when the next one number is trying? How do we find
Her
out?
next meeting,
Mhm.
that's Commissioner Pettigay Lewis. I'll get your information for you. Any other questions? And welcome to the neighborhood, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Not so much as a question as it's so much as a announcement. I'm Edward Milton. I recognize some faces. I've been recording the ANC meetings for the past 2 years with my iPhone down here. So if any of you have missed the meeting, I post them on Nextdoor normally the following day. So there's a record of all meetings like for the past 2 years, minus last month because it was Passover, but some people have to have a break. But I do record it. If you have access to Nextdoor, you can see the meetings if you have not attended. So it's a public service I provide for free. Thank you.
Yeah. We'll have a voting action for Commissioner Shropshire.
Oh, okay. So Mr. Beresford and Mr. Carballo.
And this is